On this week's episode of the Social Update, Instagram adds to Reels. UK influencers will be named and shamed if they don't declare their ads. Twitter wants to protect you from getting mentioned in conversations that you don't want to be mentioned in. And they deal another uppercut to Clubhouse. This is the Social Update. Hi, my name is Brian and welcome to the Social Update, where I give you all the news about everything that's happening in social media every week to help guide your brand online. And we always start off with Instagram, of course. Now, finally, Instagram have monetized Reels for themselves. That means they have added ads to Reels, right? Now, you will see ads playing in Reels as you swipe through, not in the feed or anything like that. Now, this is like the final place that Instagram wanted to monetize. They've monetized stories with ads, the feed of ads, now IGTV with ads, and now finally Reels with ads. Even Explore has ads in it, right? When you're scrolling through videos, you might see an ad pop up through there. So Instagram wants to make money, but on the other hand, they're still testing it. So they just released a test where they did it in Brazil and UK and Canada now. Previously, they were just testing it in the US and in India. But this is good news for businesses, right? You're not allowed yet to, some businesses obviously are allowed to, businesses that are part of the test are obviously allowed to advertise in Reels, but it's not available to everyone yet. But soon it will be available to everyone, very, very soon. And this is really, really good for businesses because all the attention is on Reels, or Instagram is pushing all the attention to Reels, or wants to push all the attention to Reels. So if all the attention is in Reels, if you have a good vertical ad, something that you posted to Reels as a business and it did really well, why not submit it for an ad in Reels to get more attention on it, because that's where all the attention is. So this is a really, 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 really good update and a good feature for small businesses, big businesses, whatever type of business you have, to advertise, to get your company in front of eyes, right? So get ready if you're a business, because that is coming out to be very beneficial for your business. So the Advertising Standards Agency in the UK, the ASA, is clamping down hard on UK influencers by naming and shaming them on a page on their website. So they've made a special page to name and shame influencers and celebrities who are running promotions on their Instagram without declaring ad in the caption. They will keep your name there for 3 months and monitor you basically to see if you do any more mess ups. And if you kind of keep doing this, they will fine you, have your post taken down. I'm not sure if they have links with Instagram. I'm assuming that they are working closely with Instagram to kind of clamp down on this, which I guess is great. Now, this is something that has been going on for a while, and they've been kind of deliberating what to kind of do to clamp down on influencers who aren't or creators who aren't declaring their post to be an ad when it is clear collaboration, because this is what this organization does basically. So if you run an ad on TV or billboard or radio, they monitor these things to make sure they are complying with regulatory standards, right, that they have made up, right? Obviously it's made up, and now they want to apply these standards to influencers, because on social media things can get very, very blurred. The lines can get blurred, and you don't know if I'm just wearing this jumper because I'm wearing it and I like it and I bought it, versus it's being sponsored by this company, right? And they need to know that, okay, well, it's being sponsored because people need to know that they're being advertised to by a company. And it has to be the same with Instagram, right? You see ads and you know it's ad because it says sponsored. It has to be the same when you create a piece of content and a company has paid you to promote their product to your followers. It has to be very, very clear. Followers can't be confused as to what this piece of content is trying to do, right? There is a big difference between saying, oh, I'm just wearing this jumper, and oh, it's sponsored by them, or oh, go and buy it, right? It becomes a different type of content. It becomes an advert, right? And that has its own standards and has its own criteria that it has to adhere to, but it has its own rules, right? Versus content, content has its own rules as well. Otherwise, Instagram will take your content down. So all these have different states of plays. Now, they are naming and shaming people. Right now, they've got a few celebrities up there. Again, I don't believe celebrities are influencers. They're celebrities. That's a whole other thing. I don't know how they're going to monitor all the hundreds and thousands of influencers and stuff like that. I'm guessing they might get some help from Instagram. I really don't know. But we'll see. We'll see. Let me know what you think about the Advertising Standards Agencies clamping down and naming and shaming. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Is it silly? Will it help? Is it a threat? Will people listen? Probably not. But I want to know what you think down in the comments. So Instagram close friends might be changing to selected followers. They are working on maybe changing it, might get a different name, but you will have multiple audiences on, you know, as a close friend. So it won't be close friends anymore. It will be like different audiences. And this is going to be a really great, if they release this will be a really great tool for businesses, because you can have different people liking different stuff. For instance, I talk about social media, like social update, and I talk about branding and content marketing and all these kinds of different stuff I like to talk about and share. But you might want to share these with different subsections of your audience. So you can say, right, you guys interested in branding? Cool, I'm going to put you on my branding list. And anytime I post something branding, I know to post it to you guys, and the engagement will be higher than just posting it to everyone else, because you guys are specifically interested in branding content or social media content or the social update specifically. And you can kind of segment your followers even more to kind of niche down within your own followers, right? And get higher engagement for content that they want to see, rather than going broad. Because right now, when you post a piece of content, not everyone on your Instagram is going to like it, because they are there for different reasons. Some people might like you for humor, some people might like you for memes, some people might like you for branding, social media, all these kind of different topics or whatever you post about, right? Because we're all multifaceted and we post about multiple things. So it'd be really good to be able to focus on the people that are wanting to know about a certain topic, especially on stories. I feel like there should be something like that for the feed as well, but it is what it is. So let me know what you think about the selected followers that may be coming to stories instead of close friends down in the comments. This is something that I think everybody can agree. When somebody reacts to your story and it goes to your DM and you just kind of have to like it or reply quickly, like, that should not go to your DM, because that is just way too much notifications if you have loads of followers, even if you have a few followers, just to see somebody reacting to it. Like, we don't need a DM of someone's reaction. It's not really a conversation starter. It's quite annoying. You can just congest your whole inbox. I think that's silly. It can get too much. So now they're testing, changing it to, you know, just goes under the story itself, and you can see how many people reacted and who reacted to what, I'm guessing. And they need to change that ASAP. They don't need to test it. They need to just give it to us, because I think everyone can agree that that one is overdue, because that is a very annoying feature. And I would love to just, you know, not get 10 DMs of people just laughing at something. Like, you know, it could just be under the story, and I think that is completely fine. Yeah, Instagram, can we just get that, please? Like, forget the dilly-dally testing, just give us that now. So Twitter wants to increase the safety on their platform, as every platform should. Now, the way they're going to do this is by allowing you more control over who can actually mention you in their tweet. So you can turn off anybody mentioning you for 1 day, 7 days, a week, a month, or whatever parameters they're putting in there. They're still working on it. You can turn off who can actually mention you, so people that follow you, people that you don't follow. You can turn off whether you can actually receive notifications for for people that have mentioned you, so they can still mention you, but you will just not know about it, right? And you can also unmention yourself. So if somebody mentions you and people are like cussing you out, going in on you, or you don't want to be associated with that person, you can unmention yourself from a tweet. And I'm not sure if that kind of like maybe grays out, so you are not mentioned in the tweet itself, or if that you just won't receive notifications. They are still working on these features, but I think these features are really, really good. I know Instagram already has something like this in the privacy settings. If you go to mentions, you can turn a couple of stuff on and off, but I think this is really great in Twitter, because a lot of bullying and abuse and racism and sexism and all kinds of things happen on Twitter that is just kind of like out of order, right? And this would be a really useful feature if you just don't want to hear it. You know, if you just don't want to hear it, or something's going down and your name's been mentioned too much, you can just turn it off and nobody will be able to mention you, and you won't be able to hear it, and that would be good. So I think it's really good in terms of helping Twitter users and tweeters get safe and just not deal with nonsense that they don't want to deal with. So let me know what you think about that in the comments. So Twitter is dealing another uppercut to Clubhouse and allowing your Twitter Spaces live audio to be downloaded for, you know, it's going to be stored in the archive for up to 30 days, and you'll be able to download it, right? And post it on your IGTV, post it on your YouTube, post it as a podcast. Yeah, Clubhouse doesn't have that. Clubhouse does not have that feature. Right? So again, Twitter Spaces is moving fast with the features trying to knock Clubhouse out. Spotify literally just launched their version of Clubhouse called Greenroom, right? They bought a app called Locker Room, and fixed it up, changed it, add some features, whatever, and made it into Spotify's version of Clubhouse called Greenroom. Right now, it's a separate app called Greenroom, and it is exactly like Clubhouse. This is a really, really good addition to Spotify itself, especially for musicians and podcasters, because they can go on there, they can do a live podcast on there, or they can release their podcast on Monday, say, hey, we're doing a Green Room on Tuesday, come hang out with us, we'll be talking about the podcast, etc., etc. Some of you guys can come on stage and all that kind of stuff, or they can see the hype from the podcast that is getting on Twitter, certain subjects, and go and talk about it on the Green Room. Or musicians, just before they drop an album, hey, my album's dropping in an hour, come chat with me on Green Room, ask me some questions about it, talk about the track listing, talk about the writers, talk about the production, talk about some stories, talk about some of the songs, talk about the lyrics. All kinds of things artists can do, you know. It's dropped a day after, go and do a talk on Green Room, connect with their fans, have some fans come up, rap with them, give them a beat, let them rap, all these kind of things, freestyle, feature songs. So many ideas that artists can use Green Room for. I really hope that they actually use it to connect with their fans and their listeners even more. There's so many ideas you can actually use it for. I think it's a great addition to Spotify. Whether people will go there, whether musicians or podcasters will use it is another story, but I for one think it's a great feature, more so than trying to build on Clubhouse or, you know, even maybe Twitter Spaces, because Twitter is has its own Twitterverse, right? But I think that's a real smart move for Spotify. Let me know what you think about the Green Room. Have you tried it? Go and download it. I would suggest you just try it and see what you can do with it, and let me know about the Green Room down in the comments. That is it for this week's The Social Update. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next week.